We're witnessing a psychological event, and it isn't happening in one country or in one political party. It's happening on a global scale.
You can feel it, can't you? Something has snapped. This isn't just another protest. It's something else. Something much deeper. It's pure instinct.
And this isn't some localized event, driven by a specific ideology. This reaction is spreading. It's jumping across cultures like a virus.
Think about it. Europe, North America, Australia. The rejection of Donald Trump is happening in lockstep. It's synchronized across cultures that don't even share the same language. How is that possible?
It's the timing. It's happening all at once. And that tells us something profound is at play here, something far beyond politics. It's as if the entire collective is reacting as one.
So let's just call this what it is, a global rejection. When an entire stadium boos a leader, that's not some well-reasoned political critique. No, it's a gut feeling, a primal roar from the crowd. And that sound is ancient.
I mean, just look at where this is happening. London, a stadium in New Jersey, protests in Greenland, Australia, Canada. The reaction to Donald Trump is identical. Different languages, completely different cultures, but the same visceral rejection.
And this is where the psychologist Carl Jung comes in. He had a chilling warning for a moment just like this one. He said that power doesn't just collapse violently one day. First, it collapses quietly, psychologically. And the crowd always feels that shift first.
So here's the crucial point. For this specific type of dominant personality, there's a fatal flaw. Praise feeds the ego. Criticism enrages it. But public mockery? Humiliation? That's different. That breaks it. It is the one attack an inflated ego cannot psychologically survive.
To really understand why this is happening, why humiliation is the kill shot, we have to look past the politics and into a very specific psychological pattern. We have to talk about archetypes.
This quote, it isn't just a clever insult. A Greenlander said this about Donald Trump, and it is a shockingly precise psychological diagnosis. It gets right to the heart of the matter.
Carl Jung actually gave this pattern a name, the puer aeternus. It's Latin for the eternal child. It describes a personality that is psychologically trapped in adolescence, unable to ever truly mature.
And the traits are crystal clear. A grandiose sense of self, a deep, profound feeling of entitlement, a total inability to accept any boundaries or limits, and, most importantly, a violent, uncontrollable rage whenever they're contradicted, because their entire psyche depends on a constant supply of praise.
The public understands this instinctively. So it's not about ideology. It's about projection. We project authority and stability onto figures like Barack Obama, but we project chaos and threat onto figures like Donald Trump. It's a gut-level psychological act. He has become the container for global anxiety.
So, what happens when this inflated, eternal child ego gets publicly rejected? Well, the reaction follows a predictable and an extremely dangerous path. History shows us this pattern, this arc of collapse, repeats itself relentlessly. It's 4 steps. First, adoration from a loyal base. That leads to step 2, massive ego inflation. Then comes step 3, public humiliation. And the final inevitable step, a catastrophic overreaction.
Instead of any kind of restraint or reflection, Donald Trump compensates for that humiliation with escalating force. You get bizarre threats to invade places like Greenland. You get militarized language aimed at citizens. You get these public fantasies of total domination. This isn't strategy, it's a desperate psychological compensation.
As that legitimacy erodes, the leader tries to compensate with more and more spectacle. But this creates a lethal contrast. On one side, you've got stories of lavish spending and excess. On the other, you have ordinary people suffering.
And a number like this makes that contrast brutally clear. A 72% increase in food prices, the gap between the leader's performance of wealth and the public's reality of pain, well, it becomes unbearable. The public psyche just can't reconcile it forever.
And this is the most critical moment. You see, rebellion can be crushed with force, but when the collective simply stops believing in the leader's power, their entire psychological foundation shatters into a million pieces. You can't force someone to believe in you.
And the scariest part? This isn't a new story. It's an ancient, repeating pattern, and it has a terrifyingly consistent conclusion. We've seen this play out before.
From the jeering crowds in the Roman Colosseum To the spectacle-obsessed strongmen of 20th century Europe, the script is always the same. Real authority hollows out, and brute force replaces it. The global booing we hear today, that's the collective unconscious recognizing this ancient pattern playing out in real time.
So the true danger here isn't the man himself, it's the psychological vacuum of belief that's forming all around him. And a vacuum that powerful, it invites extremity. It forces a resolution, one way or another.
Jung's analysis shows the future now branches into three narrow and mostly dangerous paths. Path 1, containment. Legal limits, institutional resistance, a slow deflation of the ego. Path 2, confrontation. Internal force, external provocation, constant escalation. Or the third and most terrifying path, renewal through catastrophe. A shocking, manufactured crisis used to reset dominance and seize absolute control.
The booing we are hearing across the world is not the end of the story. It is the signal that a new, more desperate phase has just begun. The collective has withdrawn its belief, and that leaves all of us with one chilling question. Looking at those three paths, which one are we already walking down?